Hi there, I'm Danny Henderson. Welcome back to my beautiful channel. This channel really always focuses on the reality on your planet, in your solar system. More importantly, the systems that are starting to come down in all of the governments, the corruption. I do shine a light in areas that I feel really important for us, humanity, to look at and to call out so that we can get some order and we can get the real people in the proper jobs and get those jobs actually done. Anyone, whoever they are, whatever title they have, that is in government or public service, they are servants to us. They are in servitude to us. They get those roles to serve us. Now, we know there is absolute abomination of nepotism, England in particular, Britain in particular, is so absolutely just grotesque and just out of alignment with reality. The House of Lords, full of its chinless wonders, Lord Thwarthy Thwar and Thwarthy Thwoo Thwoo, nobody cares. It's an old system that's dying. The old guard is coming down. Nobody cares about titles, Lord, Lady, Duchess, Queen. Nobody cares anymore because the people of the world have come to understand it doesn't serve them. And they are the ones I care about. They're the ones who are suffering. We're going to start today in areas of criminal failure in the British system with the Secretary of State, Mark Harper. Now, before Mark Harper became Secretary of State, he was the Chief Whip, Parliamentary Secretary to the Treasury. It's very important to remember for everybody that let's just focus on the British government, okay? Those Muppets have had 100 years to witness and observe how or how not to manage our money, our taxes, etc. Okay? They've had plenty of time. Have you noticed that not one of them has got it right in all of these years? Oh, there's not enough money. Why isn't there enough money? Who is in charge? Oh, there's enough. Be quiet with your lies, your bullshittery, your fake arsery. We don't care. British government, House of Lords, we don't care. You are utterly all incompetent. Oh, it's the Labour Party. Oh, it's the Liberals. Oh, it's the Green Party. Oh, it's the Tories, the Conservatives. Yawn lies. All you do is pass the fat buck, blame the last. Oh, they left us in a right mess. Be quiet, because you were in power before the last mess, and you left them a mess. And on it goes, over and over again. The same pompous assholes spewing the same nonsense that just doesn't work. Just so you know, guys, it's not going to be a long rant. It's going to be a quick one because I'm bored already. But these things must be called out. They absolutely must be called out. We must be reminded of who we are, our status on our planet as good humans who demand to be taken care of in all of the ways that we should. Good food, clean air, clean water, safe roads. Let's go back there. In Great Britain, the weather is extremely unknowable. It's very dramatic, the weather here in Great Britain. It can be sunny in the morning, and then by 5 past morning, it's hailing and raining and windy and gloomy. And it does take its toll on the roads. And again, we've had hundreds of years, excuse me, hundreds of years of knowing and practice and witnessing and working with substances and creating tarmac, good tarmac for the road. Bit of tar, bit of macking, off you jolly well go, ho. In the colder areas, maybe we use it a bit more, a bit different, who knows? But at this stage in 2024, we should have an absolute, perfectly beautiful infrastructure, no potholes. And if there's a pothole, the pothole police should be right on it, fixing the potholes. Their potholes are so dreadful, they're so scary. 1 minute you're driving along the road and bang, down you go. It causes the most unbearable stress to everybody. And the fact is, because of the failure, the losers, the absolute incompetent, chinless wonders, windbags of the North, East, the South, and the West, the Winnie the Poohs of ridiculousness, the puffed up, stuffed up nonsense pots running my country. What are you doing? What are you actually doing? People are running into potholes. Oh, there's not enough money in the local county council. Why not? Why not? You have no excuse, not one of you. Don't you dare tell me and my human family that we don't know what's going on, that we don't know how things are run, that we have no idea of what you go through. Guess what? Nobody cares. You should all be fired. And if not fired, you should be called to the public forum to answer for yourselves and tell the world, Great Britain, let's start there, why you failed in your roles to take care of Great Britain and her people. Huh? Comprendez-vous? The potholes create unbearable stress, and all you say is, there's not enough money. Hey? Now, who are the powers that be? Who are the real powers behind government? Who are the real powers behind Parliament? Oi, you snot-nosed wangers. Do you think you're doing? Get your hands off the reins of my country. Know that the old guard is dead and you all failed. And you continually failed for certainly over the last 100 years. How dare you? Scummery, 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 scummery. Back to the roadways, keeping them safe. Boys and girls, in those positions of power, that's your job. Now let's look at the Dartford Tunnel. The Dartford Tunnel is a crossing over water between the south and going into London. Now, I didn't know, because I've been out the country for, gosh, 14, 15 odd years. I didn't know that there was no people anymore on the Dartford Tunnel, or even that there was a system. So I go over the Dartford Tunnel, I see a sign and it says, you know, there's this fee. So I'm expecting to see a person, you know, like there should be people, you know, human to human roles, you know, because again, the failures that decided to take humans out of roles, what were you thinking? Oh, you weren't, because you don't have brains. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So I'm expecting to see a lovely, cheery chappie or a lovely girl or boy or whatever, you know, a heffalump just there taking money or just letting me through the barrier, or maybe I wang my little card. Or no, I was driving up to the north at Hull, and it's £2.50, $3.18 to cross the Dartford Tunnel. Both ways, you have to cross it and pay, and cross it and pay. But if you don't pay on the online thing that I knew nothing about, you know, I've been out the country for a long time. Oh, you should have educated yourself. Balls, you don't know about these things until you actually have to know about them. So be sensible. It's not common sense, you know, the ridiculousness of how this country is being run, new systems that were really still failing in 2023. I did some research on the Dartford Bridge and all the, you know, pomposity and ridiculousness and stress that it caused people changing over the new system. So boring. And it should be free, let's face it. You know, we pay enough, it should be free. So anyway, basically, I didn't get round because I didn't even know. And of course, £2.50 is £2.50. It's not in my awareness. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm like, oh, I went over the bridge. And well, before you know it, Johnny Hobart is at the door with a letter, and it's called a penalty charge notice. And do you know it's gone from £2.50 to over £100 of criminal theft? That's what it is. On no planet and in no one's brain can you justify missing a £2.50 charge that wasn't in my awareness. I'm not systemized or groomed into that way of thinking. And suddenly there's a letter coming from these bunch of bollock chops called, let me name them, they're called a Movis. They run the Dartford crossing. They're in Leeds, so you know they're going to be hard bastards. Operated by a Movis. So they send these letters. I've had a few now because I went over the bridge 3 times. and they're going to come round my house and take possessions and bang on door. The only banging you'd get is my boot, between your legs if you did come to my door in that aggressive manner. But I'm speaking out because it's absolutely terrifying when you get those letters, and it's criminal. Oi, it's criminal, and it's being allowed because Great Britain is run by bullies and numpty brains and people that have sat and carved up this country between them. It's like when the English took back Scotland. I'm so sorry about that. And I am Scottish. I'm a Henderson from the Highlands, Sutherlandshire and Tongue. Anyway, you grow up where you grow up. But the point is that this nepotism and this ruling and this taking and this not caring for the people is absolutely gone way too far to murderous, criminal, preposterous levels. And it's all the people running, managing, controlling, not the rest of us, but the Muppets that put themselves in charge that we need to swipe down, like, wiping the windscreen. You know what I mean? Or wiping bird shit off the windscreen is a more better, stronger, kind of more important emphasis on how they've crapped all over you, consistently. And they really don't care if you live or die. And they constantly prove it. So it's like when you go to the hospital. Here's a good one. I took a friend to the emergency recently. And, you have to go in the car park and you're in such a state of terror, of course, like if you were going to see a baby born or someone's terrified they're having an operation, or people are in the worst frame of mind imaginable. It is the most single stressful thing, going to the hospital. But you have to pay £2. You have to, faff around and go through a barrier and get a ticket. And then you've got to come out and pay, and you could have been there hours. It's £2 an hour. It's evil. Oh, we don't own the car park. No, you sold it off and you privatized it. And those privatizational bastards who are only thinking about money are not humankind, not emotions, not kindness. They only care about making that money. People sell their garages because people can't afford to park their car in London. It is so out of control. I'm going to get to the London bit in a minute. So Dartford Tunnel, it's gone up from £2.50 to over £100. So I sent them all a check because it's right. I owed £2.50. Okay. And I went on the website and I swore I'd done it right. Clearly I hadn't, because I got those threatening letters from the numpty asses in Leeds, who were going to come and knock on my door and steal things. Good luck with that, boys. I wouldn't if I were you. Anyway, moving along. It turned out that I did the £2.50 checks, and then I put their £2.50 plus their criminal charge, their criminal attempt at theft and extortion, which is what that is. And I wrote a letter to each, because there were 3 of them. I wrote a letter and I'm like, you should do the right thing and not steal, but they will, because they're tosspots. They don't care. They don't care about you or me. They wouldn't care if that £100 extra that they're trying to steal and extort and harass and terrorize and terrify, people like me and you into paying. If that was the £100 between me losing my car, not paying my rent, not paying my mortgage, they don't care. So the system doesn't work for us, does it? It simply doesn't work for us. And the more that we have allowed this bullying, the more we have to take responsibility. All right? So have a word with your own self, each individual person, that we've been watching this terrorizing of our country, Britain, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. And we have to accept responsibility that we did let a lot of these systems get implemented. We didn't think we had power. Well, guess what? We do. We actually have the power. The power. Imagine that you're an old person, like my mum and dad, older people going over the Dartford Bridge. They're not online. They're not on the internet. Nobody cares about them. Imagine the stress they go through. People knock themselves off the planet over stuff like this. Yeah, I went over to my parents the other week and they both looked like they had the stinking flu. I'm like, my God, what's happened? Are you okay? They'd had a morning of stress because somebody from their electricity company had sent them a bill threatening a fine. because something hadn't gone through. But they'd sent them a bill with the wrong date, an April 2023 date instead of a April 2024 date. So they were caught up in human error and incompetence, and they were in such a state. And it just makes my blood boil because I know people unalive themselves at such a stressful time as this. The systems on this country, on this land of Great Britain, are all completely broken. And they need good new people involved because the failures in those roles simply are not fit for purpose. And we know that. And we've got to speak to these things. We have to speak out against the governments, against the local authorities, against everything. Health, education, I can't even bear to look at education right now. Now, let me tell you what else they do in Great Britain. They make us pay a license to watch television. Listen to this. It's unbelievable. And I am so embarrassed for Britain. And whoever did the TV license, shame on you. In your face, to your face, shame on you. The TV license, everybody across the world, that this really low level British authority enforces, they enforce it. I moved into a new place. And of course, it's not a priority. And I haven't been here for so long. I wasn't even aware, I'll pay my TV license and I don't care. And it's a criminal act. It is an act of violation. It is a criminal harassment and it should be absolutely banned. Anyway, so some bloke knocks at the door, some big old burly bollock chops. And I didn't answer it. I never answer my door. Who are you? Go away. Put a big red sign through the door. Pay your TV license. It's a criminal offence to watch TV. And I thought, oh, well, that's all right, because I don't watch TV. I like watching YouTube or, what else? Netflix. I got a Netflix account for my parents. I kind of bump on that now and again. It's such rubbish, though. Let's not go there. Let's stay focused, Danny. Okay. The TV license, then I get another letter, it's a criminal offence. We're going to come round and see what you're watching. And I laughed. I'm like, this has to be a joke. You have to be joking me that people are going to come to my house and knock on my door. Ooh, we're coming in. You watching telly? You watching the shitty, crappy, smelly telly in your house? How dare you? And do you know what they charge? You're not going to believe this. Have a guess. What do you think they thieve, steal, victimize, threaten, harass, punish, imprison, literally put people in prison for not paying their poxy TV license? Guess what? It's £169. Look it up. Great British pounds. GBP. 169 thieving pounds. How disgusting. And I couldn't bring myself to do the paper trail because it would just the thought wound me up so much. I wonder if all those coffers go into the pocket of a lord or a lady, a pompous ass in the House of Lords. Well, I decided to do a TV license and I made it up and I should get all the money. These things happen in reality. These things happen, have happened, and will continue to happen until you decide to make a stand. Council tax. Billy Goat Gruff, council tax. So every house has got council tax on it. Now, they're already, can't fix the roads. You can't do this with your trash, your rubbish. You can't put them out every week. You've got to do this bin or that bin because they ain't got the manpower, because they ain't got the infrastructure. Oh, and don't get triggered by the accent. It kind of helps me move through. We've got amazing accents in Great Britain because we're great. I mean, we're really great. I mean, what's not great is all the systems and the arseholes in charge. But we as a people, we are the greatest, the funniest. I mean, you go 10 miles and it's a different accent. And every accent has so much character. And that's one of the things I'm proud of about Great Britain, truly. But what's not great is the bollock chops in charge that all need to be fired and stepped down. And their criminal actions on us, the people, need to be in jail, on trial, judged in any way at all. But you have got to reverse the order of this country. It's our duty to reverse the order of this country. Council tax, the threats, the violent way they handle you paying it. So I get this letter and it says, oh, you've missed the, because I'd moved in, I was traveling, I was in America and back and forth. So I've missed my mail, you know, I'm not going to have somebody come in and I open my mail. Be quiet. Okay, we're living our lives. Anyway, so it's a few weeks since I've seen, oh, well, no, I've got this council tax bill. You've got to pay for the year. And I thought, well, you can shove that. That doesn't suit me. Let's look at the months I was here and up to. So I did the phone call thing, which I can't stand doing because you can't trust any system. And I paid from that date to that date because that was good for me. Oh, well, then all the letters start coming and they are violent, harassing, terrifying, terrifying. On the envelope, do not ignore. Do not ignore. You guys, knock it off. It is just so scary. Look, this is the Dartford Tunnel one. See that? Dark charge. That was the Dartford Tunnel. Do not ignore. Council tax. So I phoned this bird. She was a stroppy mare, but I mean, God love them. What a horrible job they have. You know, they've got bitches like me phoning up. Having a pop, moaning about the systems and out of control and saying naughty words and not at them. Of course, we know it's just their job, right? But they do part with a lot, honestly. And you don't really want to get a gobby bird like me on the end of the phone on your on your work day. As the girl at the HSBC bank collection service on something found out the other day. Anyway, okay, so council tax. So I've missed this bill, and now I've got to pay this for the year. And I went through all the harumphing and yelling and this, you know, deciding, and then looked at the prison, the threat of prison. And I'm like, this is just outrageous. This is why I'm making this video. And I hope tons of you see it. And I hope you share it. And I hope it riles you up to action. And I hope you make a stand for your individual life in Great Britain and you say, no, I will not accept these systems, these violent, harassing, threatening. No, none of them deserve the role they're in. None of them deserve to make systems and rules on us. And they are going to try to make it so much worse, so much worse. My God, if you look at Agenda 2030, the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, oh, God Almighty, you know what those effers have in store for us? Council tax, bus lane fees. Oh my God, I'm in Brighton. I'm coming to the end, but these are things you've got to look at. I'm in Brighton. Oh, driving around. I'm lost. I don't know where the hell I am. I touched a bus lane. Oh no, touched it. £35 fee. What? What do you mean there's a law and I didn't know about it. Oh, you should know. Well, I bloody well didn't. Okie dokie. And oh, well, you're going to pay £35 because you should have known. I didn't know. And it's cruel and criminal again to do that to people. Finally, when you go to Heathrow Airport, did you know they dare, absolutely unbelievable, again, threatening, violence, harassment. They should all be in prison for this. They make you pay £5. I can't even believe I'm telling you this. If you drop someone off at the airport, because people have to get dropped off in order to be able to fly. They've already paid well over. They probably paid their whole year's money to go on a little holiday, get them out of the rut, you know, have a little break. You have to pay £5. Now, I was going to one Terminal 5. It was the wrong terminal. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? A sign for £5. Then had to go to another terminal, another £5. I shit you not. It is a disgrace. Not to mention, you're driving around London, there's all these big signs like this area and, oh, you know, they're all lying about climate change and global warming. It is the unbelievable wickedness on your planet. It is so embellished. It is so, don't buy an electric car. You know that diesel generators can only power up the charging systems. You know that, right? Right there. There's your clue. They have to use diesel generators to power up the charging bank at the charging bit. Okay, it is an absolute fallacy. Anyway, I've got to stop there. London, the Panic of London. It is a systemized, terrorized, criminalized system all over Great Britain. And all I'm saying is this: directly to the Houses of Parliament, the governments, the leaders, whoever you think you are, the wealthy families that put these things in place, the scumbags at the top, your scummery and fakery is being handled. You are the old guard. Know that your time is up. How dare you, for every point I make, every single thing I say, potholes, council tax, roadways, you have all failed miserably, and you are not fit for purpose. And I, Danny Henderson, I do not give you my consent. I tell you now, if I had the power, but I will use my voice, you should step down. And people that can actually do the work and clean up the mess you all left, you all made, going back generations, going back decades. Okay, I will leave it there. Great Britain, don't forget how beautiful you are, how amazing, how multicolored, how multicultural, how funny, how passionate, how brave, how strong. You got something in you of this land, of this heritage. The Muppets at the top. It's over. It's over. To make a stand, push forward, take them down. Go to your local authorities, ask for their badges, tell them to step down, haul them over the coals. They're not doing their job. And don't use violence. Don't use terrorist moves like they do on us. Just be calm, be peaceful, be smart, use your voice, let them know what time it is. And we will leave education for another time. All right, my name is Danny Henderson. I send you my love. I truly do. And I'll see you soon.